Hello world, I'm Carp. Welcome back to Sunless Sea, where we have just left from Nuncio, I think that place was called, and we are trying to find our way to Polythreme, where we really need to go. Oh, you're stuck in a vortex. Well, that's fine. I'm not sure if you were friendly or not, but I never trust boats to be not friendly in this game. So yeah, you just be stuck there in the vortex. Yeah, you're not unfriendly. Oh crap, turn off the lights, don't let them see us then. And we're very hard trying to find Polythreme, which is usually somewhere around here. Just as I started the game, there was a loading screen that showed a map. And on that map, Polythreme was, well, pretty much exactly here. But that map, of course, isn't the map that we have in this game going on at this point. Let's turn on the lights so we don't get too much terror since the ship is already gone. But wait, what did we find? Oh no, another ship. No, that's an Alceus class corvette. We most definitely don't want them to fight with them. We don't want to fight with them. Oh, turn off the lights, turn off the lights. Run! Full power, full power, full power. Okay, all clear. Send the bat out. Ooh, there's something here. Let's go see what we got here. Doesn't look like Polythreme. This is Fathom King's hold. Okay, lights back on. Lorcan's port over here. We'll dock here. Okay. The Fathom King's hold. Lorcan's port, named for that most enterprising of drownies. Phosphor cells burn green. Somewhere below, the king waits. So can I go the Fathom King's hold here? Like an iceberg, like a bazaar master's scheme, like the need itself, most of the hold is invisible. You see only a tiny portion of sculpted coral, the rest waits below the surface. The Fathom King's bone rooms and aquaria, his pearl snares and his dining chambers. So let's start by compiling a port report. The port watches you right, she says nothing. Others who come and go, those who grant audience return dazed, awestruck. The king is not generous, but occasionally he is fair. Okay, well let's descend to an audience with the Fathom King then. The Fathom King is the lord of the drownies, those dead who won't stop swimming. By some accounts, he's the lord of all who die at sea. Bring him a story to tickle his curiosity. Speaking to a porter, the porter has the skin of a shark. She has a drowned woman's eyes. It is not permitted to look at her hands. Yes, she rasps. That story is sufficient. She opens the valves of pearl and permits you to pass in the conduit. So we lost one Z story. This is the salt-blown heart of the hold. The Fathom King floats in his throne, a gem-starred bowl of sea stone, the size of a banqueting table. He's wearing a dressing gown of purple brocade, so dark with salt water. He leans his chin calmly on his hands. Beneath the surface of the water in his throne, his hidden regions pulse, constantly, insistently. Okay, so we could gain some crew here. It doesn't sound like something we want to do. Ask a boon for the king. Okay. Let's ask a boon of the king. You have brought the king a story gift. You may ask a gift in return. It's impossible to know what you'll receive. Rosy flesh, the king intones. One from water, tasted in good health. He waves a gracious hand while his waters thresh. The audience is over. As you return, crab slaves carry ice buckets filled with sweet fresh meat, pink as dawn. So we got 5 supplies. Well, that's good. Yeah, let's not permit any shore leave here. I don't feel like this is the kind of place where we want to permit any shore leave. There are probably no shops here. No shops here. What's our fuel? Okay, we still have... Okay, that most definitely took care of our supply situation. We still have possible fuel situation if we can't find Polythreme. Let's just start sending the bat out and... Okay, turn off the lights. Someone is trying to come to us. Let's try to stay close to the shoreline here. Man, 'cause there's so much space here where Polythreme could be. Oh, and I didn't know, like, it could be like more down, it could be more to the east, more to the west. It could be anywhere. Man, it is really unfortunate that we do not know where it is, because so many bad things might happen to us. Or I didn't know. I didn't know what the bad thing is if we just come back without the thing, but with the money. Is that gonna be the worst thing? Possibly not. Okay, let's... Ooh, Visage. Well, let's go visit Visage as well. Visage is a strange place. Perhaps... Okay, after we got the Visage, we'll start going northwest, hoping to find Polythreme. Okay, there's the Flourishing of Years. Visage is, yeah, a strange place with a strange face mountain thing here, and we met at Pigmode Isle a couple episodes ago. We met someone from Visage, and they like to wear masks here in Visage. So let's see what we can do here. Always send out the sea bats while we can, hoping to maybe find something besides Visage, something underwater. Well, can't go underwater. Hide your face. Hide all your faces. This is the port of Visage, where faces may not be naked, except one, a stone monument the size of a village church, serenely gazing upwards, Flourishing of Years. So that's Flourishing of Years, that face there. Let's go ashore. Once you set foot on Visage, you may be here for a little while. Okay. Terms. All those who enter must play their parts. The sign is visible only after you cross the threshold. In the lower slopes, stone buildings, flat roofs, archways. In the architecture, there lingers a memory of lotus and palm frond. The hill above is a face, forever looking up at the ceiling of the Unterzee. No one inhabits its cheeks or the hollows of its eyes. Check in at the customs house. One may not wander Visage at will. Okay. A changing room. All visitors must pass, one by one, through a room guarded by a person in the mask of moon moth. Masks in assortment of shapes and colors. Ask to go about without any mask. Your own phrase will do for you, thank you very much. Access the significance of the masks. Choose the frog mask, choose the locust mask, choose the bat mask. So let's ask the significance of the masks. Maybe there's more to it than a question of aesthetic taste. Assorted pestilences. Moon moth explains. Each mask declares a different intention towards the denizens of Visage, and must be accompanied by suitable behavior. The frog is for visitors who, though perhaps clumsy and unfamiliar with local etiquette, have come in order to observe local ways and to make uncouth comments about them. So locust is for those who seek profit in Visage and would carry away as many goods as possible. You prompt about the bat. Moonmoth hesitates. Bat is an ill-omened visitor. Send us a messenger, a spy. Bat always dies. Okay. So, I don't know, let's use the locust masks. Hunger for all things. Moonmoth settles the locust mask over your head. The eye holes are covered with a thin gold film through which valuable objects gleam more brightly. May you find a happy harvest, says Moonmoth. Then, when you have partly turned away, double knots the ties on its purse as though you're likely to pick its pockets. Doesn't it know you can see it? Okay. Expertise in parts hasn't changed because it's lower than 3. Your Visage mask quality is 3. Locust mask. Okay. That we already saw. So let's visit the library of parts. So called because all the books are fragmentary, perhaps. Stoop at the lintel, enter the dark. A room of heavy stone, guarded by a golden statuette of a woman with outstretched arms. The scroll niches sorted to correspond to a variety of masks: the jackal and the lioness, the crocodile and dung beetle. A woman in the mask with a lotus blossom is standing at the lectern, reading in silence. Moonmoth stands to one side as your escort and tour guide. So we could ask the purpose of the room. What sorts of parts are they? Anyway, steal the most valuable looking scroll for 8%. Read over lotus blossom solder, 77%. Pick the pockets of the readers. Ooh, 96%. Okay, we'll do this because we're a locust. We were supposed to steal stuff. While they are looking, you can be acquiring. Successful, if not wealthy. You dip your fingers into a crocodile's purse and acquire a few coppers from a heron. The coins here are no more than tiny copper chips, each stamped with an eye sigil. The exchange rate must be thousands of these to the echo. Hardly worth taking home. But you have acted as a locust is meant to act anyhow. There are no scrolls for locusts in the library of parts. Okay, I have 1 Visage expertise in parts. Okay. So let's visit the float cart. The Moonmoth speaks as though you should already know what that is. High water. The flood court is a long stone room with 2 ranks of columns on each side. Currently the court is ankle deep in water, though water stains on the stone show that the flood has often reached higher, sometimes up the height of your waist. In a raised niche at the far end of the room sits a statue of a man with the head of a ram. He holds a jar from which water flows out onto the floor. Gather coins, study the calendar drawn. Okay, can't do that. Say how much you like to win. Let's just gather coins. It's a 50% chance. Once again, Locust we're supposed to steal, so let's do this. Gotcha! You wade in the water and begin gathering coins. People watch you from behind their masks, but no one tries to stop you. After a moment, the other Locust masks in the room swarm with you, 4 and 5 and 6 of you together, scraping the coins from the bottom of the pool, working your way along until everything is gone. It is just how a Locust ought to behave. Okay, so we get expertise in parts 2 now. That's good. Is there anything else we can do? Well, let's visit the library of parts again. And let's steal the most valuable looking scroll for later. It's the sort of thing Locust might do. Let's try at least. Oh, we succeeded. Nice. More and more. Gilt-edged scrolls. Papyrus bound with an emerald green silk bands. Poems of the traversal of the realm of the dead. Into your sack they go, leaving the scroll niches bare. Moonmoth doesn't see what you do. The carapace of your costume hides everything. Okay, so we get 10 fragments for that. We can trade masks with Moonmoth. It has been making subtle overtures for some time. You will now understand them. It is keen to go. It draws you aside in a closet in the customs house. Had enough Visage, it tells you frankly. Here, you take my mask and pretend to be me, and I'll trade in the visitor mask and get on some departing ship. Get my life back. Its face, no, now you see, her face, is aging but online. A lifetime of never needing to use facial expressions. Okay, so we are aware of Moth Roll now. Yay! On the lowest slopes, oh, this is the same thing. So we can visit the things. Let's visit the house of the chief geometer. It is understood to be an honor. Lines in wet ground. Each morning, the man in the cobra mask draws lines in the mudflat with a painted steel rod. This apportions to each inhabitant a small trapezoidal area from which to harvest mushrooms and to scrape salt. No plot is ever preserved from one day to the next. This man is the chief geometer, the keeper of directions, master of land measures and sea measures. Now you have been invited to his home, at a time customarily appointed for him to receive those who are not his equal in rank, yet not so far beneath him as to deserve to be ignored. What ceremonial gift will you bring? We can bring a string of rats. We can bring a necklet of lapis beads. We can bring a poem concerning snakes copied on a new scroll. We can bring a comb made of bone. We can bring fresh candles. We can bring nothing. Cobra's like to be drawn. What was it? So he's the chief geometer. Okay, so he's apparently a cobra. I don't know. Since we have candles and like this is something we can only do if we have candles, I assume it's gonna be something good. So let's do this. Hunger set aside. The gift is suited to him personally. One can see this by the way that he hesitates regretfully before he performs the rejection that etiquette requires. It was thoughtful, but it's not the gift of moth to cobra, therefore wrong. Okay. Well, so can we visit there again? And now we can't bring rats. Oh, because we have a good enough understanding of these things. Right, let's bring 2 honey cakes then. Because that's the proper gift for rolling snakes. Was this even here before? I'm not sure if this was here before. Triumph. He accepts. He approves. The cakes are placed on the front table of his receiving room so that the other guests may observe and appreciate the correctness of your gesture. You are permitted to stand to one side and watch the others arrive, but there is no one whose gift supplants yours in the place of honor. Not even the gift of a preserved lark, frozen in gelatin with a bubble of song rising from its open beak. When you depart the chief geometer's house, he presses on you a prediction that one day when you have most need, the earth will swallow you in one place and spit you out in another. It is, of course, only a ritual saying. Well, the sea already did that to us once, so if the earth does it, just wouldn't be so strange. Okay, so we probably don't want to go there anymore, so let's visit the Temple of Apis then. All the denizens of Visage go there sooner or later. The wounded god. In the center of the temple, it's a black bull with a white diamond on its face. It is tied in place with heavy ropes, and is wounded in the thigh. From this wound it bleeds copiously without dying. The priests gather around the bull, capturing its blood in cups. Can't do that because we have 6. Can't do that because we have 6. Can't do that because we have 6. Can't do it because we have 6. Leave a respectful token of offering. We have enough. Okay, even wounded remains a god. Impeccable. The tokens are small and not very valuable, as suits your lower rank in the community. The priests arrange them on a table with other small items. As you go out, you pass by the more impressive gifts: drafting tools from the chief geometer, scale from Jackal, a heap of foreign coin brought home by Crocodile. So we are expertise in part is 7. Another place we can do is enter the hollow of the ear. This place was still greater pageantry. This is a journey of several steps and may conclude your current visit. Well, since that's the only thing we can do, let's do that then. A proud nose. It is festival day. The great stone face has been illuminated from forehead to chin with blazing torches, so that the profile is visible from the side more clearly than you have ever seen it. Flourishing of years is awake, says the gentlest figure in the crocodile mask. All the denizens of Visage are walking towards the ear together. There's a place in the procession which belongs by right to the wearer of your mask. Okay, we don't have a flare. Okay, well, how else will we discover what lies within? Yeah, fall in line with the others. Among your own, you go as though you were truly one of them. You carry nothing with you but your mask and your costume. May your heart be as light as a feather, says the woman in the lotus blossom mask as you fall into line behind her. So our ritual quality is 2, empty-handed. Doesn't sound good. The road you follow leads up through switchbacks along the side of the face, and finally to the ear of flourishing of years, and in the cave that is her ear. The tunnel bends back on itself, and all lights have now been extinguished. There's nothing to guide you but the hand of the person behind you on your back and the movement of the person in front of you. The one who walks beside you wears a bat mask. Fortunately, the floor of the tunnel is very smooth and presents no stumbling blocks. Sound carries strangely in this place, however. Sometimes you cannot hear your own footsteps, and sometimes a breath comes back to you audible from someplace ahead of line. Let's continue. There is a secret in the dark. In line, the footsteps of the people are steady and synchronized, and you go together. For how many years has this been done, and for how many will it be done in the future? Watch your step here, says Batmask to you in an undervoice. Its accent of the wolf-stack docks. Floor is about to get squishier, and sure enough, it does. Oh, let's continue. At last, the tunnels open out. You and all the other congregants spread out in a cavernous space. A voice speaks in darkness, a ritual preparation. Here at the new year, we gather under the one mask of flourishing of years. Her face is turned to the gods. Protected by her mask, we may remove our own. Protected by her script, we may speak outside our parts. Here and there is the sound of people fumbling with ties and strings. Your own friend feels different with the mask off. Ritual person no more than 6. You have 6. Receive the confidence stranger as holy. Wait, listen. Let's receive the confidence of the stranger as holy. Those who come as spectators may remain as participants. We don't have a lamentable relic, so we can't tell one of our secrets. So let's just listen to someone else's secret. Oh, we also lost terror. That's very nice. Truth. In the deep shadow, you hear things that you will never repeat. They are not the most dreadful of secrets or the most evil things you know, but they are entrusted to you as confessions. You needn't guard your face while you listen, because no one can see you. You needn't scheme about how to use the information, because you don't know whose secret this is. It has no use to you, except as a token of connection. So Lost Terror, got a memory of this, and sure got some fragments. Okay. The hour of confidence drawing to its end. If there's anything else you need to do, now is the time. Okay, we can't do anything. Let the ceremony end according to proper rites. Ooh, we got a captivating treasure. Nice. Last bell. At the end of the hour there comes a woman with a feather of shimmering silver, which she tucks into your hand, symbol of the innocent heart that will not be eaten by the jackal. Then a bell rings and the time of speech is over. You all begin to put your masks back on. It is possible, you cannot know for sure, that in this cover someone has exchanged the mask with someone else. It is an orderly and perfect line that emerges again from the ear of flourishing of years. If anyone watches from above, they must surely be satisfied. Once again, a secret. So then the only thing we can do is end our performance and leave the island. You can stay in character forever. Calm. When the other citizens are distracted, you find your way to the familiar customs house and rid yourself of mask and robe. There is satisfaction in laying aside a role well performed. Oh, lost 10, Terra! Nice! That's actually super nice. Is there... Oh, there are no shops in Visage. Is there anything we can do here? We can... Oh, we didn't even create a portal roll. Let's create a portal roll. Report. That will have to do. A departing merchant gives you a confused account of crocodiles and honeycakes and something about ear pluckage. To this you add your own impressions about the street layout close to port and types of commerce here. When the lights are especially bright, it's possible to make out details of profile of the great stone face. Well, come on, we went there, we did all the things, we could make a better port report than that. But that was apparently all we had to do here. So let's get a move on. You know what, let's go towards that buoy. And after we've gone to that buoy, then we'll start heading back west. Isle of Cats. Okay, well, if there is Isle of Cats here, are you... Yo, no, you are not the kind of pirate ship we could defeat, so... We go to the Isle of Cats. Please don't see us, please don't see us, please don't see us. You did not see us. Good. Oh, it's right there. Turn the lights back on. Tears. Your cheeks are wet. You think for a moment that it's sweat, but then sorrow hits you like a falling stalactite. You are weeping. You double over, inconsolable. Weep. Yeah, let's just give ourselves over to this. Oh, we gained terror. The flood tide. Your crew watch in alarm as you collapse the boat. Tears burst from your eyes. Your body is wrecked with sobs. It passes as suddenly as it started, but your thoughts are stained dark with unlikely grief. Okay. And where is the place we need to find? Polythreme is the place we need to find. Well, let's see what we got here in the Isle of Cats. Where there are roses. Port Cavendish. Let's start with here. A scatter of yellow-lit honey dens and brightly painted alehouses. To the southeast rises the stone tower of Cavendish Abbey, its ramparts hung with crimson and gold banners. There are sailors from all across the Neath hauling cargo, dicing and prowling good-naturedly on the board docks. The air carries the sound of sea shanties sung with more enthusiasm than skill, and the smell of roses edged with brimstone. So, let's just start by compiling a port report here first. Though the Isle seems, at present, beyond the reach of the Admiralty's law, that doesn't mean that the Admiralty lacks interest in their activities. Roses and kings. You spend half a day observing the docks and note an astonishing number and variety of ships. Was that a caney trimmer nestled beside a vessel from the Iron Republic? The dockhands complain loudly that they have never been busier. The caddies talk ceaselessly and carelessly about smuggling and piracy, but even the most hardened sailors lower their voices when they mention the king. They go in quieter when they talk about the Rose Garden. You make careful notes. Perhaps the Admiralty will understand what they mean, even if you don't. You know what? Let's take the piratical welcome. Oh, luckily we just doesn't use more money than we need to. Welcome to the Isle of Cats, the wide-eyed dockmaster says brightly. Would you like to bribe me not to write down your details in this nice official ledger? Yeah, sure. You hand over the coins and she tips you a sharp smile before waving you to a nearest alehouse. The entire process is straightforwardly corrupt and pleasingly efficient. Why did we gain menaces? Why does isn't menaces about the Admiralty knowing our stuff? Now it's suspicion 2. The Rose and the Tiger. The alehouse's signs is a tiger painted the color of rose petals. Someone has gone to great trouble and expense to gild the creature's eyes. They look out over the port, feral and unseeing. A caged hive of lamplighter bees hangs from the ceiling like a chandelier. A few sailors give you hard-mouthed, assessing looks, but most ignore your presence entirely. Significant tokens, clandestine doing religious observances. Well, let's go here first. The caddies all wear a pair of amber stones threaded around their necks or pinned to their collars. Cat's eyes, one of them says, for the Pirate King. As far as you can gather, the Pirate King's name is Leopold, and he controls all the trade on the island. Half the caddies believe that he can take the form of a crimson tiger and creep into their dreams. The other half suspect more prosaically that he simply eats those who displease him. Okay, clandestine doings. A whispered conversation, the clink of coins, an exchange of goods. The merest taste. You turn your head as though you are admiring one of the mouldering draperies hung from the wall. A vial flashes in the buyer's trembling hands. He uncorks it, pours a few drops of thick red liquid down his throat. The vial drops to the floor. When you look back up, he is gone. You blink and look around. Nobody else seems in the least perturbed that a man disappeared from their midst. You pick up the fallen vial and examine the traces left inside. Sticky honey gleaming with redness, entirely unlike blood. Religious observances. Is that a crimson-veiled nun? But what sort of a nun would be in a place like this? A mellifluous sister, of course, she responds, perform a complicated negotiation between veil, thick glove, and glass of mushroom wine. You ask what one of those is, and she snorts. I'm glaring at you underneath this blooming veil. You act appropriately cowed, and the mellifluous sister thaws a little. We are the beekeepers and honey harvesters. The caddies owe their prosperity to us, and the pirate king too. She slurps the last of the mushroom wine behind her veil, and the barkeep glides over to refill her glass, eyes respectfully downcast. Okay, nothing else here. Let's leave. There must be more the Alcats than drunken souls in these stories, but yeah, we learned all of this, so make sure. Yep, well, we got to leave here. Laws of the land. The barkeep stops you before you reach the door and hands you a brooch set with 2 amber stones. He waits impassively until you pin it to your clothes. Everybody wears the cat's eyes here, he tells you, moving aside to let you pass. Just a friendly reminder that the Pirate King is watching. It seems that no place then is truly lawless. Okay, so we go to the honey tongue, we go to the Cavendish Abbey, we buy a shipment of red honey. We don't have the money for that, so no, we can't do that. Okay. Let's start with the honey tongue here then. It is a brothel and honey den run by someone the caddies refer to as the King's Claw. Entering the brothel is like sliding into the dream of a surface orientalist. Jewel-embroidered cushions, bright silk drapes, gilded statues of elephants, sun bears, and clouded leopards. Silver censers release curling plumes of the rose-scented smoke in the air. The courtesans are red-lipped and coal-smudged. When you catch their eyes, they smile back at you with professional interest. Okay, let's ask what the red honey is. You know, of course, only the particulars may have slipped your mind. One of the nearby courtesan's eyebrows lift infinitesimally, but his reply is practice. When lamplighter bees suck the nectar of the crimson strain of exile's rose, they are driven to madness. They enter the brains of humans and harvest their memories. He shudders, as though imagining the process himself. Those memories are instilled in red honey. Each sip is a birth of memory in the tongue. Deliciously awful, isn't it? He flatters his dyed feather fan. So we gained 1 terror. That's fine. We can comfort a Z captain. A Z captain is weeping gently into a courtesan's bosom, muttering of her lost crew and rose gardens. Costs us 60 fragments. Sure, let's see what this does. They're all tending the gardens now, she wails and begins to weep again. My poor crew! You wait for a hitch in the sobs and inquire further. It is a slow, delicate business, drawing answers out of her, but you are nothing if not perseverant. It seems her crew was conscripted by the Lady of the Gardens, and that their duties are something far worse than horticulture. You leave her reciting the names for lost sailors and commending them to Salt's memory. Okay, and there's nothing else we can do here. Let's go to Cavendish Abbey then. The crimson-clad mellifluous sisters patrol its ramparts and tend their hives of lamplighter bees. The mellifluous sisters make their home in the richly appointed stone tower of Cavendish Abbey. Their thick gloves and crimson mesh helmets are worn, less for modesty and more for practicality. They tend to hives of the lamplighter bees all across the isle and make a religious observance of harvesting red honey for the Pirate King. We can give fuel for the bee smokers, which we're not gonna do because we're not gonna use any of our extra fuel. A meeting with the abbess. She's always interested in news from London. Okay, let's do this. What do we get? Something extra. Ooh, mushroom wine, foxfire candles. What are we gonna dump? What are we gonna dump? Oh, we got extra supplies from the Fathom King, so let's dump a supply then. You recite your news to the abbess, your voice stuttering every now and then in the cool silence of her office. Her face is entirely obscured by her thick veil, and it's impossible to read her reactions. Nonetheless, you must have pleased her. She orders one of her novices to load your ship with casks of mushroom wine. The abbey overlooks the rose garden, and so you make a point to linger at the windows. The roses bloom lush and wanton, each petal the color of sunset. A tall woman in a golden veil picks her way between the thorned bushes. We get 5 casks of mushroom wine, and there's really nothing else we can do. We're not gonna spend any of our fuel here, so let's see which is the cat's chiefest claw. You know what? I think we're actually gonna see this in the next episode. I'm gonna stop this one here. I'm Kakaba, this has been Sunless Sea. Goodbye, world. Thanks for watching. See you next time.